God damn, what's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and we are back once again playing some more of Marvel Future Fight. And for today, man, as I was going through my roster and just reminiscing on all the new amazing characters and uniforms we got in 2018, allowing people like me to play with people like Betsy, Gambit, a new uniform for Scarlet Witch, which makes her super freaking OP. It was a great year. Getting Strife in this game, new uniform for Cable, oh my goodness. 2018 has been a truly amazing year for me in Marvel Future Fight, and we've made a lot of progress for some of the characters in this game. Getting a new OP uniform for Thor, which took him out of the sunken place. The same thing for people like Captain America. You know what I'm saying? Like, Captain America was so bad for so freaking long. Well, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great. Like, he wasn't Cap. Like, he was a super tank, but he didn't have any damage to do anything in the game, right? And he got this amazing Infinity War uniform that rose him to the pinnacle of this game. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing, right? Amazing year for Captain America and a few other characters. However, there's still a lot of progress to be made, because as of right now, there's still 40, maybe like 50 characters in this game that desperately needs a rework or a uniform or something of some sort, because they're still, say it with me now, pure garbage. So that's why videos like these have to be made, because it seems like Netmarble has all but forgotten about these guys, because some of these guys have been in the game since the very beginning. They've been in the game since April 30, 2015, and we're going into 2019, right? And some of these characters I've never been able to use for anything, and it seems like they may never get a rework. And I'm not sure if that's because they are free-to-play characters or not, but it seems like sometimes Netmarble kind of just forgets about characters, whether or not they're premium or free-to-play, because in the case of Hyperion, it took them like almost 2 years to rework this guy, right? It took them a year after him just being pure garbage after they released him, and another like 6 to 8 months after people voted on him, right? So it leads me to believe that some of these characters may never see true justice. These characters that I have favorited at the top right here may never be useful ever in Marvel Future Fight. So I'm here to give you guys fair warning. This is going to shit out a lot of characters that you guys may or may not like. So if your favorite characters make this list, I'm sorry, it's nothing personal. Honestly, if you're starting this game in 2019, use this as a guide as who not to build, okay? Save your resources unless you already have 100 characters well built, and the majority of them being at tier 2, and you have a couple tier 3. Stay away from basically all of the characters I'm gonna list in this video. I don't personally want to shit on these characters because I love some of them. Like, I'm a really big fan of Blade, and I really want him to be so good in this game, but he's just pure garbage. And I'm not the type of person to shit on characters that are not built. Like, all of my characters have their gears at 20, their skills at 6, they have ISO sets, they have custom gears. All of these characters are built, and I've played with them extensively, and I've just drawn the conclusion that they are pure garbage. The most some of these characters can even attempt to do is floor 1 of Shadowland, which often takes them 2 to 3 minutes of struggling, almost dying to clear, when we have other characters in the game that can do it in 2 seconds. The vast difference between the top and the bottom in Marvel Future Fight is way too big, and too often we see characters that are already OP getting more OP, and the characters at the bottom just staying at the bottom. Like, it's just crazy. Some of these characters have been in the game from the very moment the game launched, and they never had true justice, and I feel like they may never see it. Like, for example, someone like Hawkeye, who, if he does not get a OP, actually he doesn't have to be OP, a uniform that makes him a serviceable character after Endgame, I will be so pissed. You guys will never ever hear the end of it, because Hawkeye's been in the game since the game released. He's never been good. He's been featured in multiple movies, got multiple uniforms, and he's still in the same sunken place, being pure garbage. Honestly. And when Endgame drops, that's like what, 5 days before this game becomes 4 years old. honestly, if after 4 years and multiple uniforms Hawkeye can't be good, there's literally no hope for any of these other characters that don't get featured in movies and don't get TV shows. Like, there's no hope for them. So honestly, you should be staying away from basically all of the characters that I have favorited in this video. There's more, like all of the characters that I have at tier 1, honestly, they have little to no value. But the ones down here that are not favorited, they either have a good leadership or I can make them work on a consistent basis, right? They either get a uniform. In the case of Sif, she was on my worst characters in the game list last time, but I took her off because I got the uniform for her and it made her serviceable and kind of reliable. She-Hulk is not on this list even though she's pure garbage because of her leadership. Her leadership is really good, so I couldn't put her on this list because her leadership is literally like something I use every single day. Her overall kit, pure garbage. So that's why you'll see some of these characters not in today's video being featured as the worst characters in the game, because they have a leadership or a quality that I deem as serviceable. But for you, you could easily put them on there as being pure garbage and characters to avoid. But I would say definitely work on She-Hulk at the very least. So honestly, most of these characters just need one simple thing. They all need survivability. None of them have good survivability. They all need damage, but I would gladly take a little bit of survivability. And literally the only thing that Netmarble has to do to make all of these characters good is give them this. Honestly. And you guys can disagree with me in the comment section. Just let me know, okay? Where's Loki? Honestly. All they need is a freaking 8-hit guard. I can't even find Loki because I'm so agitated right now. Where the hell is Loki? There we go. Literally all they have to do is give them a 8-hit, 8-second guard. Something that's been in the game since the very moment the game became a thing. Because I use Loki as an example because Loki has had that guard since the beginning of time, right? He's one of the first characters that got that, and that was premium at the time. But honestly, in the state of the game right now, we have characters that can shred that guard in seconds. So it's not super OP to give a character an 8-hit guard. But literally some of these guys have absolutely no means of defense. And they have little to no offense at all. Like if you take a look at Blade's kit, no stuns, no nothing, right? The only skill he has that deals damage is his 5th skill. Literally nothing in this man's kit, and the same goes for the rest of these guys. Sister Grimm becomes better at tier 2 because she gets a heal, but that's about it, right? Her overall kit has decent damage, but she needs more, and that is the case for all of these guys. Honestly, yeah, they're basically the same as Hulkling. Honestly, I know Hulkling gets shitted on more than some of these other characters, but in some cases, he's actually better than some of them because he has a stun in his kit, he has an iframe and all that other stuff, whereas some of these guys are even worse, but people overlook them. Like, for example, Gomorrah. Now, this makes me super mad because Gomorrah's been in multiple Guardians, right? She's been in Avengers, she died, and they literally couldn't give her justice. So there's literally no hope for her unless somehow, some way, well, they're probably going to come back when the Avengers come back and then she gets featured in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Maybe then they'll decide to give her justice. But seriously, man, how many movies will it take for some of these characters to become good? Like, seriously, boys. Some of the most iconic characters in the Marvel Universe are some of the weakest characters in Marvel Future Fight. Honestly, I debated with myself putting Shang-Chi on this list simply because I really like him, and I think he could be a really good character because his tier 2 passive is pretty decent and I love how he plays. It's just that his survivability is so bad, and that's the case for basically all of these characters. Seriously, boys, like Bullseye's leadership is clutch because he gives you a 50% ignore dodge. That's great for World Boss Ultimate, but the rest of these characters, man, are just so freaking bad, and they've been bad for so long. Even Jessica Jones, she had multiple, well, to be fair, Jessica Jones looks exactly the same as she does in the game as she looks in her Netflix series, so I can see why they didn't rush to give her a uniform. But still, man, they could have given her jewel uniform or something. A lot of these characters have long-running TV shows, like the Runaways are going on. They could easily do a Runaway update, fix some of these characters. We have S.H.I.E.L.D. still on TV. They could easily fix some of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but for some reason that's not a priority, and I feel like it's a disservice because some of these characters have really good abilities that I would love to see expanded on in this game. Like Sif's 4-star passive could make her one of the deadliest PvP characters in this game if she was done right. But I feel like because these characters are old, Netmarble is not really worried about them. They're worried about making the newer characters more powerful so they can make more money when they release those characters. They don't care about fixing characters that already been in the game that people initially spent money on. And I feel like that's a really, really bad thing. Even if they have to sell us a uniform, at this point, I would gladly pay for 30 other uniforms for these characters just so I can use them for the first time. Because a lot of these characters, like I said, have been in the game since the very beginning of the game. And to this day, there's nothing the majority of the player base can do with them. Absolutely nothing. I can use them, some of them, but still, they should be serviceable to the majority of your player base. So yeah, honestly, stay away from these guys, man. Misty Knight, I debated putting on this list just because she has a really amazing leadership that you can use with Luna Snow. But besides Luna Snow, there's no other cold damage character in the game, so you're basically only building her for that reason, right? But anyways, man, I don't want to spend 30 minutes shitting on all of these characters because I've done that multiple times in the past. This is just to give y'all an update that not much has changed for the bottom tier characters in Marvel Future Fight, and I don't see much changing going into 2019. There's only 3 characters that I have favorited here that I think will not be here in 2020. Okay, that's probably Gomorrah if she gets lucky, Hawkeye hopefully, otherwise expect a lot of rage from me, and maybe Nebula if they feel like being generous. But honestly, Nebula looks the exact same as she always does in the movies, so I'm not sure if that warrants a new uniform, although I would really love one because I can't use the character for shit, and I refuse to buy this one because it's only offering 1 skill change. I like how it looks, but it's not doing enough. Honestly, man, Netmarble, please do something for the bottom tier characters in Marvel Future Fight. Bring back the monthly mid-month patch where you service some of these characters. Please, please, please make it so that in 2020, these videos don't have to be made anymore. Please, that's it. It shouldn't be that hard. All you have to do is give these characters 1 or 2 iframes or a guard, a shield, a few seconds of damage immunity, something. Anything at all will make these characters serviceable. That's all we're asking for. I know I'm not the only one, but someone has to say something, man, because it's gone on for almost 4 years and I feel like it's going to continue indefinitely because most of these characters are not popular enough to be on TV shows, right? So there's basically no time in the future that they're going to get any better. It's just sad, man. It just feels real bad. But anyways, boys, we're going to wrap this up right here, man. Just a little bit of an update, a little bit of a rant. Sad times, boys, sad times, but the truth has to be spoken, honestly. Honestly, boys, we don't need multiple other uniforms for some of these characters that are already at the top of the game. We need uniforms or reworks for some of these characters that have never gotten any spotlight in this game. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments, boys. But anyways, man, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. I know most of you guys are going to tell me Misty Knight shouldn't be here because her kit overall isn't as bad as the other characters, and you're probably right, but still, she's not really that good. Anyways, man, we out. Peace.